The day is finally here. Training camp starts today for the Packers. And so if you guys want to stay up to date with all Packers news today and for the rest of training camp, feel free to subscribe and turn on the post notifications so that way you never miss any Packers news. But I want to start off today going over a press conference that Brian Gutekunst just had. He talked about many different things, which I want to go over. He talked a lot about injuries from David Bakhtiari, Elgton Jenkins, Christian Watson, Sammy Watkins. So we will give updates on all of those things coming in here. And so to start off, when it comes to David Bakhtiari, we know he was recently placed on the PUP list. It's been so long since he tore his ACL, and that has been a little bit worrisome. We would have hoped that he could have come in here right away in training camp and started, but obviously that is not the case. But here's what Brian Gutekunst had to say. Here's from Tom Silverstein on Twitter. Packers GM said that left tackle David Bakhtiari had another procedure on his knee during the offseason, but he has little doubt that the left tackle will be back. He said there is no timetable for him to come back. So David Bakhtiari had to have another surgery, which is unfortunate for him, and who knows exactly what that is, and there is no timetable. So we don't know how long Bakhtiari is going to be out. So the uncertainty of Bakhtiari and when he's going to play continues. So we don't know what he's going to do when he's going to come back, which is definitely concerning. And if he's not able to start the season at left tackle, it makes things a little tougher on this offensive line. Then moving on about Elgton Jenkins. So he said that Elgton Jenkins is ahead of schedule when it comes to his ACL, which is good to hear because if Bakhtiari isn't able to start the season, we need Elgton Jenkins to come back as soon as possible because he can play left tackle, he can play right tackle. So if Bakhtiari was out, hopefully Elgton Jenkins comes back even sooner so that way he could start at left tackle, maybe put Josh Nijman at right tackle. So who knows when he'll come back, but it's good to hear that he's ahead of schedule. And then here we have from Tom Silverstein. He says, Gutekunst said that they are not in the market for a veteran receiver. There's not a lot out there, he said. He said he's very high on the guys that he has on the roster, and it's more likely that they will have better options at the end of camp. He said they continue to monitor. So it makes sense. Brian Gutekunst is going to allow these players who he drafted, the 3 rookies, the guys he brought in here, to have a shot to make the roster, and he's basically saying, we'll watch during camp, and as he said here, at the end of camp, there could be some better options. So if at the end of training camp, he looks around this roster, he looks at the receivers and says, you know what, I don't know if we have enough talent here. Even if there's injuries, I don't know if we have enough guys here. He could go out and sign somebody. So I think that's still possible, but right now it looks like they're sticking with their guys, which makes sense considering training camp is just starting today. And then here we have on the defense, right from Ryan Wood. Asked Brian Gutekunst if this is best feeling he's had about Packers D entering camp since he's been in the GM seat. He says he wants to see them on field first, but I think we have more flexibility to do different things than we've had in some time on that side of the ball. So the Packers defense is the thing I'm most excited about this year, just with all the additions, Devontae White, Quay Walker, bringing back Jair Alexander. There's so much talent on this defense, and they have the ability to go far this year. So it's going to be exciting to see 100%. And then here we have from Rob Demovsky from Brian Gutekunst's press conference. Gutekunst confirmed that Sammy Watkins won't be out long. As for rookie wide receiver Christian Watson, he may be out a little longer, but he doesn't think it's anything to be concerned about long term. So luckily, Sammy Watkins' injury doesn't seem to be too big of an injury. He should be back soon, which is good to hear because we know Sammy Watkins for years and years has dealt with injuries, and it was sad to hear yesterday that he was placed on the injury list, but hopefully, from what Brian Gutekunst said here, he will be back soon so him and Aaron can start building that chemistry that they need to build so they can start off the season on a hot note. And then for Christian Watson, he said he could be out a little longer, so there's just uncertainty there with Watson. Who knows how long it'll be, but it doesn't seem to be too serious of an injury. And then here we have from Ryan Wood, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst says that Dean Lowry and Patrick Taylor will be removed from PUP and Khalif Bryce and Caleb Jones off NFI. All 4 players will practice today, so that's good news. Some of these players getting back off of that injury list. And then here on Allen Lazard, Ryan Wood says, Brian Gutekunst says, sky's the limit for Packers wide receiver Allen Lazard this season as he steps into a wide receiver 1 role. I'm excited what he can do, what he can be for us, kind of in a different role. Allen is a very confident guy. Every time we've given him opportunities, he's produced. So with around 200 targets gone from Devontae leaving and Marquez Valdes-Scantling leading, Allen Lazard is one of the players here who has probably the most trust with Rodgers, and I think he probably is one of the more talented receivers right now when it comes to how much experience he has. His final, I think it was 5 games. Final 5 games. He had 5 TDs, around 300 yards. So hopefully he can build on that, and Gutekunst seems to think that he can do that. And then to finish it off, yesterday, there was some news about a few players who were released with the new signings, which I want to share with you guys, which maybe you heard, maybe you didn't. We released defensive lineman Huati Petoto. We released safety Trey Sterling, who I was a little sad about because I thought he was going to be a solid player. Guess not. Guess I was wrong there. And then cornerback Raleigh Texada as well has also been released. So if you guys want to stay up to date with all Packers news for the rest of training camp, feel free to subscribe, turn on those post notifications. And I also post on Instagram as well, Real Sideline Scoop on Instagram if you search it there. Some other stuff, some different kind of stuff there. So feel free to follow along on this channel for all of training camp. This is a Packers channel. So if you're a Packers fan, I hope you enjoy the content, and I always enjoy making it. So thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.